Hi everyone, this is Carter with Fun Robotics Network with Team 11228, the Overclucked Bots from Zeeland, Michigan. They were the finalists at the Northwest Michigan State Championship. We're going to check out their climber, their awesome arm mechanism, awesome software innovations, and so much more on this episode of Behind the Bot. All right, Dee Dee, can we start off with some strategy, what you guys decided to do this season and why you decided to do it?
So this year for our strategy, we decided to focus on cycles. For the cycles, we also decided that samples would be the easiest for cycles just because they're very efficient and we would need a quicker robot for it. We decided that even though we were going to focus on samples, scoring specimens and receiving a second level ascent was very important to us.
Awesome, I love to see it. Can we move on to some of the mechanical aspects of the robot, like the drivetrain specifically?
For our drivetrain, we decided to custom design it this year, a pulley drivetrain, because we've noticed that some of the fastest robots have pulley drivetrains, and we've had problems with bevel gears in the past. We decided that a 1-to-1 ratio with GoBuilda 435 RPM motors was the best decision because it could get us to 5 feet per second, which was our goal. We used a custom calculator to put in our robot mass and then the speed that we want to move at, 5 feet per second, and we found out the ratio and motors that we needed.
Incredible. And then can we move on to this climber mechanism? Tell me a little bit about that, any iterations it's gone through, any different design decisions that you had at the beginning of the season to decide on this final design?
Yeah, so we went through many ideas, some pivoting slides, a bunch of things. We decided that a masting chair for our climber was the best decision because it would shift our mass at the end of the match. So our climber works by our slides going up with our hooks. It would mass forward into the bar. Then our slides would go down and it would mass back to adjust our weight, and it can get a level 2 ascent. At the end of the season, we decided that we wanted to make a level 3 ascent climber, but noticed that we just ran out of time and it couldn't work. It would work by having a pivoting arm that would shoot forward at the end of the match when it was time to climb. We would go up, and it was the same mechanism, just one more set that would go up and get us to level 3.
Incredible. Can we move on to this arm mechanism? I see an incredible pivot mechanism back here and this awesome intake with the custom wheels here. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this year we went with a single mass on our arm. So this relies on a gear assist. So you can see a prototype here. So there's a rotational torsion spring in here that assists our pivot with moving up. So that's how we're only able to do this with 2 Axon servos right here. So Axon servos are also new to us this year, and we use them because they have way better torque than GoBuilda servos. So as you can see, they're super easy to lift up, although it's powered on right now, so that won't work. So it's super easy to lift up because of this rotational assistance. And again, we have gear ratios here that benefit our arm the best. And you might think that this motor here is actually helping rotate our arm, but that's actually just with the belted slides. So we also went with belted slides because it can power up and down, and speed and cycle time was huge for us this year. And then moving to our intake, we have these custom silicone wheels here. So these were poured in a custom 3D printed mold that we designed. And again, some GoBuilda intake gecko wheels here. And then these belts are custom TPU 3D printed. And that's another thing that's really new and unique to us this year. And we also have custom 3D printed belts. And this is on a planetary gear powered by an Axon servo, you can see right here. So this gear right here is stationary, and this Axon with the gear rotates around it.
My favorite part of this intake mechanism is the googly eyes. I know you guys have done that in the past, so I love to see the tradition continue. Can you tell me a little bit more about the double servo, why you guys decided to do that instead of a motor?
Yeah, so we're really pressed on motors this year with our climber design that we have, and there is always a limit to them. So that's why we could not afford to use one on our intake, and we always like a challenge, so that's why we went with designing with Axon servos.
Awesome. Can we move on to some of the software features in this robot? Obviously, the robot is mechanically sound. Can we talk about how we make this robot actually work?
So we use Java programming, and we used to use blocks. Starting from this year, we transferred to Java for efficiency and speed in programming. We use some odometry modules on the bottom of the robot to track distance that we've moved in autonomous mode so we can score more accurately. And we also use Roadrunner in Auton so that we can move our robot more soundly.
Are there any other sensors across the robot here that you guys use to autonomize different parts of your teleop?
So we don't use it in teleop, but in Auton we sometimes use this color sensor to track if the piece is fully in our intake to see what position we want our wrist to be at.
Cool, that is incredible. So can we move back just overall this whole season, some learning, different learning experiences that you guys have had?
Yeah, so overall this past season we have learned a ton. So whether it's some technical skills like programming or build or CAD, or it's teamwork skills like communication, we have all had significant growth individually. We have held each other accountable, we have gotten a lot closer, and we have built a community in general. So yeah, we're just really grateful for all the experiences that we've had together.
Awesome. I love to see a team treated as a family. So this is Team 11228, the Overclucked Bots. Obviously had an incredibly successful season. Looking forward to see you guys next season, what you guys can do. This is Carter with Fun Robotics Network, signing out.